And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second series of broadcasts. Welcome back to round 16. As we're jumping into a very different matchup, a Terran versus Protoss matchup, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The South Korean Protoss, for among its two people, it is Prome. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TvP. Coming into this, Percival is going to be more of a favorite player, but Prome does have some cheeky builds up his sleeve. He is a very unorthodox player at times, comes up with his own builds, or even just cook in the storm. Does cook up builds with Rebellion, with some of the other Korean Protoss players like Luna C, like Farmy. So Rebellion, Luna C, Farmy, and Prome, they all do come to mind when it comes to coming up with builds and trying new quirky things out. Oh boy. So we'll see. We'll see what Prome brings to the table here against Percival. Percival is going to be denied entry. It's going to be double gas opener here out of Percival, going for a faster factory. Delayed CC out of our blue Terran player here. So more tech heavy start. And currently Prome doesn't know. Being denied entry into the main base, they could still be a CC on the high ground. They could still be command center further back. So Prome, he's not fully aware as to what's going on. On Prome to figure that out. He does pull back in with his probe. We do see that Percival, he's hunting for that worker, looking for the probe, and will not find it. So he does move out. Oh. As Percival does poke in, pulls away behind this Twilight Council opener out of Prome, getting into Blink. And we'll see how many gateways Prome commits into. Does it go 2-gate, 3-gate, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? There's the second gateway. So far so good. Meanwhile, with the initial earlier gas income here, we did have Reaper Hellion into what? Into Mine Drop. So Mine Drop is on the way. Reaper Hellion busts into the main base. Oh, he does break through. And how many probe kills? Gets one. Workers are being pulled. Oh, Hellion is targeted down. So far, losing two. Not bad. Only two workers. Reapers, they get behind the mineral line. Going for another probe. Ooh, nice target firing. Gets one more. 3 in total. So 1-to-1 trade. 2 Reapers and a Hellion for 3 worker kills. I'll say this is a better defense out of Prome, but he did lose mine time. He was forced to be defensive back at home, forced to try to keep up with Percival. So a bit of a back and forth, and we're not done because here comes the mine drop. Remember, it was faster factory, which means faster starports, faster mine drop. Percival is coming. Making his way across. Boosting into the natural. Prome doesn't react in time. Oh. Job comes in. Oh no! Does split in time. It pulls away. Still will lose 3 workers though, and even saving one of the Widow Mines. Nice moves out of Percival. Does pick up, does pull away. You can always try to go back in, or at least race back home. So far, Percival, he does have some momentum. From the side of Prome, we do see that we actually, so 3-gate Blink into a Robo, into double gas at the natural, in towards a Templar Archive. So this is a style that isn't really too common nowadays, but this is a very tech heavy, insanely tech heavy here. This is a little bit more ideal against a 2-base all-in because we're rushing to Storm as quickly as possible. Now, to be fair, we didn't get to talk about it, but welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map, very aggressive map. Aggression and all-ins are favorite here, and it looks like Prome is expecting Percival to all-in. That is expected of the Terran, and I don't blame him. I would agree with that here on Tourmaline. Now Percival getting up to his own 3-1-1. Stim is on the way. It's halfway done already. Earlier add-on swap, so we have a lower tank count. Only two tanks. Focusing on that bio army. And we're waiting to see all these upgrades line up. Waiting to see it all come together. Percival still poking in. Yep. Now, what has Percival seen so far? Hasn't. Oh, sorry. He saw the Temple Archives. Okay. Big scout here for Percival, which means he knows it's already done. He knows it's researching. He knows that this was a late 3rd base and faster Storm. And Percival, does he commit anyway? That is the question. Does he still send it? Army moves out. Prome does spot this. It's on Prome to buy time for Storm. Prome has to buy more time. Percival is waiting for the kill. Nice target firing at the Prome. Gets 2 Marauders, gets 1 Marine. Percival rotating over towards the left-hand side, towards the 3rd. And how many High Templar? 3. So 3 Templar. Can he land the Storm? Army gets spotted. Prome moves in. Storm does land. Nice Storm. Storm on the tank. Does soften up the Marines. Remember, there's 2 more Storms left. And we have to be careful. Percival, his goal here should be to target fire those High Templar and catch them before they land the Storm. Prison comes in. Oh! Jesus. Prison comes in. Storms are lackluster. Nice splits here out of Percival. He splits well. The Storms did not connect. There's the edge of a charge. There's 1 Storm left. Oh no! Nice side of the High Templar. 1 Storm remaining. Better Storm here, catching the army, and Prome, he will shut this down, cleans up the tanks, cleans up the bio. But this is actually where a Storm would have been beautiful, to have 1 Storm to zone away to buy time, but that was all the Storm spent. And Percival was going for the kill. Yeah, he's going for the kill, going for the throat. Picks up more Stalkers, and Percival, at this point, he's done it. He has done it. He has broken the back of Prome. Prome, it took him too long, and he invested so much and so heavily and too heavily into surviving and dealing with that first wave. When remember, that was only wave 1, and here comes wave 2. Like wave 2, it does overwhelm. We did see earlier that the 2nd and 3rd Storms were lackluster, they were wasted. The 1st and 4th were better, but Prome was just a little bit too trigger happy. Fought too inefficiently. And Percival, he's not stopping. Like, he's rushing across. Storm tries to buy some time. But Percival, just give it. It doesn't quite snipe the High Templar. But he has a very nice concave, nice spread. Takes care of all the Zealots. Storm lands. It's a decent Storm, but there's nothing else here. Not anymore. GG gets called, and Percival, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. Again, a very powerful push here out of Percival. We did see that Prome, he was ready for it, is that what I will say. Prome, he had the tools to defend. He was able to slow down the push, able to buy time for Storm. And he had 3 Storms initially. The first one was solid, but the 2nd and 3rd Storms were a little bit too premature. That's what I will say. They were premature. They didn't quite land. They were wasted in a way, and because of that, he had to spend the fourth storm on the first push and not on the second move out. Because he had to invest so much and arguably invest too much into that first wave defense, it meant that the second wave was that much harder, that much stronger. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Percival, he is one game away from claiming the series. Una más, papi, una más. Don't recognize Prome. Is he a bit of a lower player? Who don't recognize Prome? Prome, he is a very active player in the online tournament scene. If you remember or if you know players like Lunacy, like Farmy, like Rebellion, for example, Quanta, Honmono, 3 Point, Stephen Curry. Who else am I thinking of? Gilliman as well, Rumieth. There is a group of, I would say, Code A players. I would say that Percival was one of them for a long time. So Genio, true, Genio is another one. But Percival, he was one of them for a long time. Percival, the difference though is that in recent years, specifically the most recent year, he did break out and break past them, and I would say that Percival, he has kind of secured himself as one of the top Terrans in Korea, like still below Cure and still below Byun, for example, and below Maru, but like just under and below Bunny. Like I would say he's still like, at this point, he has become like part of them. At this point for Percival, for him, he's like just that level below, like that Code A tier. But we cost him quite a lot. He's a bit of a more unique player at times, but we'll get into it. As in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. It is Prome for Among SE2P. Let's go. That makes sense. Percival has definitely caught my attention this year. Yeah, for sure. For those that don't remember, a big reason for that, I say big reason, Percival actually retired. He retired at the end of, he retired last year. He retired and he returned to the game last year in November. So he's been around he returned and he's been grinding quite hard for just over a year now. We came back at the end of November, now it's the next year, December, and he grinded so hard this year in 2025, and he's improved a lot. Like if you compare Percival now to like January, different player. Like Percival, he has just grinded so hard, like the ladder specifically, online tournaments, and it's been really cool to see the growth of Percival over time. Like he's improved a lot to the point where nowadays, like he's taken maps and taken series off of like Byun, off of like Classic, Nightmare, these other top Koreans. I would not say that Percival was favorite amongst them, but like at this point he's now more regularly taking maps and every now and then he can take a series. Like he's improved a lot. I would say that Prome is kind of like where Percival was a year ago, if that makes sense. Prome has also been improving. I should emphasize that maybe also one of the reasons why you've seen a little bit less of Prome specifically is that Prome, I would say he competes a lot more in StarCraft Evolution. So if you watch SC Evo, Prome is one of the top players there. Like when I think of the top Protosses in SC Evo, I think of Classic, I think of Creator, I think of Hero. And then just under them, at least amongst the Koreans, then I'd put like Prome and Rebellion, right? Like I would say Prome is like top 5 Protoss, Korean Protoss in SE Evo. He plays a lot of StarCraft Evolution, and I would say he commits more time there. Meanwhile, we're busting into the mineral line. Yeah, Mass Reaper Hellion. We don't even need to use a KDA charge. The Stalker goes down. We bust into the mineral line, and GG gets called. We didn't quite get into the game itself, but it was a Reactor to Reaper Hellion opener. So extra Reapers, extra Hellions, and without a wall, without a force field, without a proper wall here at the natural. GG, well played. A very swift game too. Congratulations, as Percival does take the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played. I do apologize, but again, that was just a fun fact. That was not meant to kill, by the way. That's just an opener. Going Reactor Reaper Hellion is just an opener, just designed to get some damage, some scouting information. Unfortunately, Prome, his wall off was not solid, bearing in mind that even if the wall was solid, you just KDA charge. You just use Reaper, you KDA charge, knock the Stalker out of position, and then you just rush in. What is necessary there is a probe in position to wall off. Like to throw it in a pylon or a gateway or something to fully wall that area off, or a sentry with a force field to be able to buy time to get extra warp ins, to rotate to the natural, and to actually hold on. To actually have a defense. Unfortunately, Prome, he was out of position. He was not quite ready for what was coming his way. GG. GG, well played, and much love to Prome, as Prome is going to be knocked out of the tournament. But once again, if you want to see more of Prome, and if you want to see him excel a little bit more, again, Prome, he spends a lot of time competing a lot more in StarCraft Evolution. Competes a lot more in StarCraft Evolution and SE Evo. He even runs some tournaments at SE Evo as well. There's like the Prome Opens, the Chijik Prome events. We've seen a couple of them already. So much love to Prome when it comes to organizing tournaments and competing, of course, as well. But Percival does take the series, and Percival, he will advance on to the next round, and let's catch up on where we are and where we are headed.